This one's called Independence, Kansas, Small World. It starts out, and I used to hunt there 7 years in a row. I think I hunted twice turkey hunting for 7 years in a row. Deer hunted over at Elk City in that area, about 8,000 acres. I'll get to that in a minute. Started out at the Quitman Catfish Barn. It's another one of my stories you can't make up and show what a small world it is. And I was eating crab legs. That's back when you can afford them. And they just set my plate of crab legs down. And the owner come up and said, "Man, that's terrible about Doug." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He's talking about a classmate of mine. And at that point, I believe it had been 34 years, and my class of 50, nobody passed away. Maybe one or two, but I don't think so. And he said, well, he got hit. He worked for the water department, and during a rainstorm, he was checking a meter, and somebody hit him, and he passed away. And we wasn't close friends, but I respect him. Always good guy. Went to school with him since kindergarten. He said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I mean, I was trying to hold it together, and everybody there, the people next to you, you all right, man?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Man," he said, "Look," he said, "we'll box up your crab legs so let's go home." They had to. I was shook. So that's how I found out about it. So I went to the funeral, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go turkey hunting. Turkey hunting's really got bad up in Kansas. It's really good, but I said, I'm just going to go up there around Elk City State Park, the walking track, beautiful area up there, and over at Independence, and I always stayed at Independence, usually at the end of the town at I think the Super 8 Motel. Last time I hunted there was 2021, but I was staying on the East End, the first motel you get to, and it wasn't very clean, but it was cheap. And I got to it, and as soon as I pulled up, two old guys just sitting there, they stay in the motel. They said, "Man, you got a flat." And I said, "Oh, crap." So I went. I didn't have a jack. My jack wouldn't work. And he said, "The girl over at the dollar store over there probably got a jack. We'll go over there." Here come this guy. He said, "Well, here comes this guy." He said, he said he'd help, but she don't have one. Well, this guy come up in a beat up old truck. He come up, and he said, "Well, I got your jack." So we got the tire out, and the tire wasn't no good. He said, "Walmart's still open." He said, I bet you, if we run down there, you can get you a tire." So we run on down there, and it just closing up. They said, "Come back in the morning." He said, "Man, I'll come." He said, I'll pick you up in the morning." And he said, we'll get you a tire." I said, "Cool." I said, "That's cool." And anyway, uh, we were driving back. He said, "Man, you look familiar." I said, "Yeah, well," I said, "I'm kind of down." I said, "A classmate of mine just got hit down in Arkansas, and I just went to his funeral, and I told him everything." I said, "We'd known each other since kindergarten." And he looked at me and he said, "You're talking about Doug, ain't you?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you're talking about Doug." I won't mention his last name, but he said his last name. I said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No, I was at his funeral. The way he talked, he's just sitting a few rows from me." He said, "I know who you are. You're Lone Wolf, ain't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You drive that big red semi log truck?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "How in the hell did you know all this stuff?" He said, "Oh, my family's from Drasco, just north of the lake." But he said, "I got this job for the city, and me and my wife moved up here last year." I was floored. I mean, you think it's a small world. It's 4.5 hours away, and that guy was up there. He's the one that comes picks me, helped me fix the tire, and he was just at Doug's funeral the week before, and then he remembered me and my log truck, but his whole family logs. It's a small world, guys. And yeah, if you ever want to deer hunt or turkey ain't that good up there, but Independence, Kansas is a great place. I ate at Edwards a lot. And last year I ate there. It wasn't too good. Used to it was. If you're from Independence, I'm sure some of y'all listening are. I hunted there 7 straight years. I think I captured 11 deer, 2 really good bucks. And the Elk City Walking Trail, man, go on it. If you like to hike, Elk City, 15 miles of beautiful country, and it does not look like Kansas, guys. You would think you were in Arkansas. Bluffs, straight off. Oh, I hunted a lot around there, but absolute beautiful bluffs. It's one of the prettiest places in the country. People from all over the country come there to walk. Over around Elk City, the Elk River, I didn't fish it, but they said it's full of crappie in the lake there. I forgot what the lake was called, but anyway, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. But that's one. If I was a hiker, that's one thing I'd put on my map is the Elk City Walking Trail in Independence, Kansas. Wonderful people. And if anybody up there remembers me or anything, if you live up there or hunted up there and know where I'm talking about on that around that state park and all that wildlife area, let me know later.